What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our nightly recap of the subjects that we covered in tonight's late night agenda. We've introduced this video to try and help you guys out from having to sift through a 90-minute stream to find the few bits of news that you're interested in. So over the course of the next 8 to 10 minutes, I'm going to be discussing some stuff from Arne Slot's press conference. We're going to be giving you, hopefully, a bit of a positive update as to why Trent may not be going to Real Madrid and they could have moved on to another target. We're also going to be giving you a quote from Emmanuel Petit, which I very much think that you will enjoy. That and a few other bits and pieces over the course of the next few minutes. As always though, we want to know your thoughts. Let us know in the comment section. Drop a like in the video if you enjoy it. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. The plan tomorrow is that we don't have any live content on the channel, but should Manchester City slip up against Spurs, I probably will jump on for a stream. But if not, there will be a second preview for the Southampton game coming out, because obviously stupid me recorded it before the presser from Arne Slot, which gave us an indication that some players who were in my team selection won't be available. So I've re-recorded it and that will be coming out tomorrow morning. Until then, let's get stuck into the news. So the Associated Party transactions vote took place today. And this is the second time I've recorded this video, for full disclosure, because instead of saying Associated Party transactions, I was saying Associated Party transactions, for reasons only known to my brain. So yes, attempt number 2 here. And that vote went through today for a number of 16 to 4. The 4 clubs who voted against it were, unsurprisingly, Manchester City, Aston Villa, Newcastle and Nottingham Forest. And the other 16 Premier League clubs voted in favour of it, meaning it will be ratified and introduced into the Premier League. You need 14 votes from the 20 clubs to get through any of these votes. So even despite Manchester City writing letters to the club warning them that these rules are still going to fail and are still going to be illegal in their view, it was voted through today, and we'll see what happens after that. So we then move on to Arne Slot's press conference, and I guess the bullet points of it were this. Alisson Becker and Trent Alexander-Arnold will not be available for the game this weekend, nor will they be available for the game midweek against Real Madrid, according to Arne. Alisson has been starting to do a bit more training, worked with the goalkeeping coaches, but hasn't yet fully gotten into team training. Trent still a little bit away, according to the manager. He went on to say how the last part of recovery is always the most difficult to judge because there might be a couple of minor setbacks. Then he moved on to speak about Diogo Jota, who still hasn't returned to training properly. So Diogo Jota is still a few weeks away yet. And Chiesa, well, he's starting to train now with the team, so it shouldn't be too long before we see him available for selection. Perhaps midweek, certainly more realistically, maybe next weekend against Man City. And the one bit of good news in that regard is Harvey Elliott is back, available for selection, and has been training with the team. Also in team training over the last day or so, you may have noticed some young faces in the training photos. Rion Yamoha, Jayden Dans, and of course young Trainioni were all pictured training with the first team. So well done to those gents, and hopefully we see a little bit more of them as the season goes on. So the 2 big points of today's video for me are the Trent Alexander-Arnold story and this absolute belter from Emmanuel Petit, who is a legend now in my eyes. I'm sure he already was in Arsenal fans' eyes and French football fans' eyes, but he's absolutely gone in here on Troy Deeney, and I'm here for it. So this is what Emmanuel Petit has had to say. Troy said that Mohamed Salah isn't world class. How can he say that? Fans of Egypt and Liverpool must be so proud of his achievements. In the Premier League, everybody should love Salah. He's a humble human being and certainly a world class player. Troy is wrong. Definitely wrong. And I would echo those sentiments. I would go a little bit further to say I wish these mouthpieces with these very, very suspect opinions would stop being given the platform to spout their nonsense. There is not anybody with a rational brain that looks at Mohamed Salah playing football that does not believe he's world class. I don't get it. Look, I know why they do these things, but I just don't like that they're given the platforms to do it, because it's not common sense, it's not balance, it's just nonsense. So well done to Emmanuel Petit for calling that one out. Now, the biggest story, I guess, of the day for me came out of Dario AS in Spain. And look, I'm going to be entirely honest with you. When you look at stories around transfers or contract extensions, you tend to believe what you want to believe, right? So if you want someone to stay and you read an article that says they're staying, that gives you a boost. But you don't want to believe the stuff that's negative. So there's been a lot of stuff coming out of Spain that suggested that Liverpool are wasting their time trying to extend Trent. But now, that tone seems to have changed a little bit. So the Anfield Buzz, credit to them, posted this earlier on, quoting Dario AS, saying, Real Madrid want Pedro Porro. They know Porro would be excited to wear the famous white shirt. Madrid like Trent, but they have massive doubts about his defensive capabilities. Now, this is a bit of a change from the narrative, isn't it? Because the part about he would love to wear the white shirt feels a little bit bitter to me. Like, oh, maybe Trent hasn't just thrown his career at Liverpool out of the way and his history and his lifelong support of the club to go running to Real Madrid with open arms. How dare he? So it feels like it's a bit bitter from Real Madrid, or at least briefing towards the media. And then the second part of it I find the most hilarious of it all. They have massive doubts about his defensive capabilities. It's funny how they did have these doubts 2 weeks ago, and they were in love with Trent, they were obsessed with Trent, and these are all words, by the way, that the media were using, not me. And now all of a sudden, when maybe they're not getting the answers they want, now they've got questions. They're unsure about his defensive capabilities. Great, move along, lads. Off you go. Get Pedro Porro, become Spurs' headache, and leave Trent right where he is now, because we will work on that defensive side of his game, as he's already shown, by the way, being part of the best defence so far this season in the Premier League. So feels a lot like sour grapes for me from Real Madrid, and I'm here for it. I'm very, very much here for it. After this, we did do a poll on our stream tonight where we asked what the people are feeling about the Trent situation. So the question that we asked was, do you think Trent Alexander-Arnold will sign a new contract at Liverpool Football Club? And it was a very, very positive vote. 76% of people who voted said that they feel Trent will sign a contract extension at Liverpool, and just 24% felt he wouldn't. Now, a week ago, this vote was shaped a little bit differently. It was much closer to 50-50. So it might be this positive story from our regard coming from Spain, or maybe people have just, again, felt like the longer it's gone on, the more likely it is for Trent to stay. So that is pretty much where we were at, my friends. We also know that the officials for the game coming up at the weekend have been named. Nothing really to worry about with regards to the referee, but Michael Oliver is on VAR, so make of that what you want. Arne Slot has been speaking a little bit as well about Pep Guardiola and him signing a new deal at City. This is what he had to say. Good news for City and the league, because everybody wants the best managers and players here, and he's definitely one of them, if not the best. Look at what he did the last few years. 4-time champion in this league. Fair to say he is the best. They've many quality players. If he made the choice to leave, I wouldn't expect him to be bottom next season. Interesting for us managers facing one of the best managers ever. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing Pep Guardiola and Arne Slot lock horns. And hopefully, from our perspective, Arne comes out on top, at least this season, and we can get that title number 20. Right, my friends, I'm off to grab me a bit of food and a shower, and I will chat with you guys on Sunday ahead of the game. Going to be a really long day for us on Sunday with lots of content, so we'll have our watch along, our match reaction, our player ratings, and then because it's an earlier kickoff, we'll be back at 8:45 for a late night agenda as well. And there's 11 games between now and the end of December, so strap yourselves in. The fun is about to start. Talk to you then. Have a cracking weekend and appreciate your support. Thank you.